Hello everyone, it's Chris the Batman Statue Collector, your Dark Knight of Collecting, and welcome to another statue chat. This one I want to talk about kind of the global problem right now of the coronavirus and how it affects collecting, how it is currently affecting and how it's going to affect collecting in the future. As you guys know, it has become a pandemic. It is a worldwide problem. Started in Asia and China and has now moved to just about every single country, every continent in the United States. Some people are very freaked out by it. Some people are, like myself, are optimistic that hopefully this will die down soon. And especially with the summer months getting warmer and things like that, hopefully things will die down with this. People have been getting the flu for centuries. People get sick, they get colds. It's, there's always going to be something that makes us sick. And unfortunately, tens of thousands of people every single year die from the flu, whether they're, have pre-existing conditions or they're elderly or whatever. People, unfortunately, pass away from the flu. It's just one of those things. So when we get new things like H1N1 or SARS or anything that might happen in our world, we freak out about it. We think it's going to be the zombie apocalypse. And I don't think that's what's happening here. I do feel like this is a scary thing for a lot of people. But again, I hope that it dies down over time, but time will tell. But it definitely has affected collecting and the collecting world. I, for one, have a lot of items on pre-order, and here recently I have been getting the notifications that those are going to be delayed anywhere from like May to August. I like to be optimistic, but in this case, I don't even think that those dates are very realistic. China, for instance, they just had a holiday recently, which is great, and some of their factories, have gone back to work, but in very limited quantities. I know a company like Tweeterhead. I saw Chad from Tweeterhead the other day said maybe like 1 out of the 4 factories he's working with is back to business, and even that is at a limited capacity. So I think we are in a very, very long haul with this particular problem. It could be year delays. It could be longer. I don't know. But I want to encourage you as a collector to be patient, because I do feel like there are going to be collectors that freak out. They're like, they're going to be complaining on Facebook and social media. It's like, well, I haven't got my statue yet. There's all these giant delays. Believe me, the statue companies are not happy about this. They are worried as well, I would have to imagine, because what is this going to do to sales? What is this going to do to the collecting community? If the factories cannot produce these statues, what are they going to do? If these statue companies cannot are they going to be willing to put out new items or show us new items? What's that going to look like? Because we're used to kind of a year turnaround for most companies, like Sideshow. It's about a year turnaround from the time they show us at like a San Diego Comic-Con to when we actually get it in hand. So I think that process is going to be much, much longer in the next year or so. But really, time will tell. It really depends on if this problem is contained or whether it continues to get worse. As of this filming, this is, of course, early March 2020. People are freaking out. They're taking big precautions. I know the big news this week was Emerald City Comic Con has all of the people from DC have pulled out of appearing because of worry that it's going around that area of the country. So there's lots of things that people are being overly cautious, and I think that that's smart. I work in a school. Schools are doing what they can to keep the schools clean. I also live in the middle of the country, so it hasn't affected us much yet. So it's really been the coast. But what happens? It starts with the coast and moves in. But again, I'm optimistic that hopefully that will be contained, but it's going to take time. We also have to remember that people get sick all the time. It's just another thing that gets people sick. Hopefully they will be able to get medicine for this, but I have no idea how long that's going to take. And so the best thing for everybody to do, if you're watching this, wash your hands. Wash your hands with soap and water, warm water preferably. Keep your body clean, and all of that. You guys know what to do with this situation. Is it going to be best to avoid large crowds? I think yes. I think it's probably a good idea, especially if you're on either coast right now. I do feel like that's maybe a good idea. Is it completely necessary at this point? No. I'm getting ready to go to a Comic-Con here in Kansas City at the end of this month. I might have to skip it depending on where we are with this. I'm hoping I don't have to. Again, the middle of the country hasn't been as affected. I'm in pretty good health as well, so I don't have pre-existing conditions like most people that have passed away. But again, when it comes to the collecting side of things, I do worry about what it's going to do to the industry, what it's going to do to the hobby. Because most of the items do come from China, and that is where they're most heavily affected. And we have literally no idea how long people will be quarantined or not be able to go back to work. So the collecting community is going to change rather dramatically in the next year or so. I feel like it is a letdown, of course, that you don't get the statue that you want when it was supposed to be delivered. But hopefully, please have understanding out there of what's going on in the world, and that it's nothing personal, but the world has to take care of itself first before the hobby does. Still, I don't know. There's still items right now that are already available. Those are items you can collect. I know Sideshow has a ton of inventory. I know Big Bad Toy Store and Spec Fiction and stores like that, Secret Compass, they have a lot in stock right now that are here in the United States, if you're watching here in the United States. So there's inventory, so you can still collect if you want to, if you still have that bug, that desire to collect. But new things coming in, I think there's going to be even greater delays. I hate to bring that bad news to you guys, and hopefully I'm completely wrong. Hopefully you're watching this and like, man, you were full of it. You had no idea what you're talking about. But I do just get that feeling that the delays that are already happening will be delayed further. I'm supposed to be getting Batman Who Laughs. I'm supposed to be getting Hush, Poison Ivy. Those are my next two from Prime 1. But I don't see those in hand before the end of the summer. I just don't. And even then I'm like, I don't know. There's fear about, whether this lives on packages or whether, something shipped from China, if it's living on these products. I've read some articles that say that they do live for a couple days. I've heard some people say that's ridiculous. I think the problem is people just don't know. We just don't have the answers right now. We just don't have all of the concrete facts about this because it's so new. And that anytime we don't have answers and people are wondering and spreading rumors and all this stuff, it gets to be pretty scary. And so I get all of that. But I'm going to continue to be optimistic that this will be fine, that we will get through this and we'll be able to heal people. And then the collecting world will get back to the way things were. But I do ask that you're patient. Please be patient in the communities. Please try not to be so negative. We have so much negativity out there, and it's a select few people. But try not to be negative. Try not to complain. No one wants to hear it. No one wants to hear you complain about a statue being delayed. Is it unfortunate? Yes. Do people get bummed out? Sure. Am I one of them? Yep, absolutely. But at the end of the day, remember, this is a global problem, and hopefully we get through it together, and eventually your statues will arrive and you can get back to collecting the way you have always before. And if you can't collect what you love right now, then collect something different. Collect comic books or collect absolutes or just anything else that you might be interested in for the time being, just to clench that thirst of collecting that you really want to have. I get all of that. Absolutely, I get that. So find something else that makes you happy in the meantime. But again, all of this hopefully will blow over and you'll have your collectible here soon. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on what's going on with coronavirus and how it affects the companies and how it affects collecting in general. Again, please be patient. it's going to work itself out. Hopefully, hopefully I'm right. But again, I get it. It's frustrating, and it's scary. But at the end of the day, we have to do what we have to do first. Collecting comes second. Health and family comes first. So again, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. Take care of your body. Eat right. Wash those hands, soap and water. All that blah blah blah. You know I'm preaching to the choir here. So anyway, thank you guys so very much for watching. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. That does notify you every single time I put new content out there. Please click the like button. That does help me out tremendously and does promote the video so other people like you can find this content. And last but not least, if you want to join our notification squad, you can do that at thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com. I'll put you on the list. And if you want to take it even one step further, you can join our YouTube membership group. I do put out new videos, and you guys get to see those first. There's various tiers and things like that that you'll get as part of that membership group. So again, if you want to join that, that's awesome. I'm so thankful to the people that have already joined. So thank you guys again for that from the bottom of my heart. And thank you again for watching so very much. Again, take care of yourself, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you right here in the Batcave. Bye, everybody.